Okay, so I'll tell you what, you guys. Why don't you introduce yourself for the Project F.E.E.D audience? We can start with you, young brother. What's your name and how old are you and what school do you go to?
My name is Abdi Aziz Ali. I'm 14 years old and I go to Washburn High School.
Okay, and your brother?
My name is Imran Arali, and I go to Lindo Elementary School, and I'm 11 years old.
Okay, now you guys are taking a part of Project F.E.E.D. And our feature movie is, why don't you do, who's paying attention? What's the name of our feature movie?
The
Boys
Boys
of
of Baraka.
Okay, and where is Baraka at?
In Kenya.
Kenya.
As you know, we got right here beside me, I have Brother Davon Brown. He is one of our own. And he's going to Africa. And we're going to wish him well because it's a blessing to see one of our own to go to Africa, to go to school.
For your brother, real quick, before we ask some questions about the movie, what has been your experience so far? I know you missed one time because you was a little sick, but your first Project F.E.E.D session, how did you feel about it?
It was fun, and we got to talk about ourselves and write one paragraph, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and let's talk about this movie. This movie is called, what's the name of the movie, fellas?
The Boys of Baraka.
Boys of Baraka.
Okay, and what city does it take place in?
Maryland, Baltimore.
Baltimore is the city in what state?
Maryland's the state.
Okay. Talk a little bit about some of your impressions this far from the start to where we are now. We're right where they are right now is they get to the Baraka School in Kenya. And where is Kenya again?
In
Africa.
Okay, and what is the capital of Kenya?
Nairobi.
Okay. So why don't each one of you talk a little bit about what you think about the movie so far?
I think it's good. Since a lot of violence is happening in Baltimore, Maryland, I think it's good for them to get a better education in Kenya and so they can not end up like he said not end up in jail, don't be poor poverty, and yeah.
Okay, and what about you, young brother?
I think the movie is great because they need better education and they need more they need to get they said they want to get degree and they don't want to be a bad kid in Baltimore, so they're gonna go to Baraka school in Kenya.
Okay. And what about this, you guys? Let's talk a little bit about the Baltimore public school system that they attended. Tell me, what was the statistic of what was the percent of how many black boys did not graduate in Baltimore public schools?
76%.
Didn't graduate.
That's a big number, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think happens with a number like that when you have that many black boys, that aren't graduating for school? What does that mean for maybe your family or your city, or even your community? How do you feel about that?
I think it's bad because only a quarter of them graduate, and I think that's one reason why they send them to Africa. Is they don't want them not to graduate.
Mm-hmm. And for your brother, do you think a lot of people in America would think that sending your child to Africa to receive a better education? Do you think a lot of people wouldn't think that is possible, or what do you think?
I think it's good for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they could get their so they can get a good education, and their mom wants them to get a good education too. So they're sending them to Baraka school.
And what do you think? Don't you think like some people might think like, why can't you get a good education in America, a country that is so rich, and you're sending them all the way to Africa in what seems to be a very poor area? What about that do you think is going to provide them a good education?
Because Big Baraka is a good school, and America, they don't want to stay in America because they're in a bad school in Baltimore. So their they want to go to Baraka to get the good education, and they heard about it, so they want to go there.
Okay. And to you, big brother, what are some things that really mean that you are receiving a good education? I think we talked about this in our first Project F.E.E.D when we met first. What are some of the things that are the foundation of a good education?
Writing and reading. And also, I think being on time, studying, pay attention. Yeah.
So how do you feel like from where they were and how they started, what were some of the things that were kind of like barriers for them having a good education in Baltimore? What are some of the things that you guys noticed in the movie so far? Some of the things that were more challenging for them in the city of Baltimore. What
Distractions.
distractions?
And violence.
Violence?
Well, she said like one of the reasons why she took them, why she said they go to Africa, is because a 17-year-old got shot like right in front of them. So she don't want her kid ending up like that.
Okay. And would you recommend for right now, from what we've seen so far, would you recommend this movie for your family to watch and maybe some of your friends to learn from so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys think that watching how do you guys feel about documentary films? I know you talked about it a little bit before we even interviewed, but what's kind of like your perspective on documentary films?
Like it gets like really good, like really great details, and like what happens from the past and present.
Okay. And what about you, young brother?
Same thing that he said, past and present, and getting good education, and details.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate you guys coming and interviewing with us today. Why don't you guys introduce yourself one more time and say the name of the school and maybe some shout-outs. If you have any shout-outs to your friends or family members, go ahead.
My name is Abdi Azirali, and I go to Washburn High School.
No shout-outs to any family or friends?
No.
Okay.
My name is Imran, and I go to Lindell Elementary School, and plus stay in school and get a good education.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. I want you guys to introduce yourselves, right? Say how old you are and what school you go to.
I'm Say. I'm 15 years old and I go to Washburn High.
My name is Alex. I'm 15. I go to South High.
My name is Mohammed. I'm 16. I go to Edina High School.
I'm Jay. I'm 15 and I go to South High.
I'm Delonte. I'm 15 and I go to MNIC.
I'm Deshaun. I'm 16 and I go to South High.
I'm Abdi. I'm 14. I go to Washburn.
But the organization's open, and that Harry and I have talked about this a number of times, or how either we can generate resources which will attract people and get their commitment, because people get into this time thing. I don't have time for this. I'm oversubscribed for this, and the issue of survival and growth is too important to use time as a divide and not do factor. So consequently, in a disorganized, divide and conquer society that we live in, that someone has to take the responsibility by school of organizing parents as kids move through schools, because really parents do have a lot to say about schools.